in studio for a little bit of State Representative incumbent Alan Seabaugh, up for re-election real darn soon. It's amazing to me how fast time flies. Aaron asked me an interesting question off the air toward the end of the 6 o'clock hour, and I will ask you because it's a good start-off question. Governor's debate tonight. John Bell, both Republican candidates, Ralph Abraham and Eddie Rispone. Are you going to watch that? Will you even watch? Because she asked me, and I said, no, no. There's nothing that's going to change my mind.
I have something else to do tonight, but I am going to record it and I'll watch it later.
Toenails need cleaning or something?
No, I'm glad y'all asked. 6 o'clock tonight at Silver Star on Ellerby Road. I'm having a meet and greet fundraiser. So if anybody's in the neighborhood and wants to come by, 6 o'clock tonight, Silver Star on Ellerby Road. So that's what I'll be doing actually, and then we'll probably stay.
In your mind, something far more worthwhile.
I can record the debate and watch it later.
The reason I won't even bother with it is, as I said, there's nothing that could change my mind about who I'm going to vote for. I have not decided on Rispone or Abraham at this point, but as far as ideology and or implementation of said political ideology, what could you possibly learn?
I won't watch it to help make up my mind on that. I would watch it just to hear what they talk about, see if anybody throws out any new ideas, and just because it is newsworthy, it may shape the debate and create issues that I may have to address later. You are a state rep, by the way. Yeah, I was doing the Rispone Abraham balancing act up until this week, and I actually came out and formally endorsed Ralph Abraham about 2 days ago.
Alan, why do you deserve another term in the State House?
Well, quite frankly, I think I've done a pretty good job. People of this area, one of the things that people keep talking about is the issues. When I talk to people, they talk about, taxes. They don't want government reaching deeper into their pockets. Nobody has been a stauncher opponent of the tax increases than I have. I know the people of the district. I know the area. I grew up here. I've lived in this area almost all of my life, except for when I went to college. And it's, I know the people of the district. I know what makes it tick. And frankly, I know what all the problems are, and I know what the solutions to the problems are. And that's really not the hard part. The hard part is getting votes to implement the solutions. And being in Baton Rouge is about coalition building. It's about making relationships and working with people.
You've been criticized on that front. You realize that, correct?
Well, yeah, I'm criticized by people on the other side.
Sure.
They criticize because I put coalitions together and block stuff. They think I'm not playing ball with the governor, and I'm not, because I don't support his agenda. But I have plenty of friends in the legislature, and we're able to block stuff, and they don't like that. So that's not necessarily not playing ball. I play ball with people that I agree with ideologically, and I've done a pretty good job of it. And quite frankly, the biggest thing I'm criticized for on the other side is the same thing that I'm actually praised for the most by people on our side was the filibuster. I successfully blocked a $500 million per year tax increase for 7 years. That was completely unnecessary. And if you want proof that it was unnecessary, look at the fact that we have a $500 million surplus right now. We did not need to raise taxes.
Can I have my money back?
I would love to give you your money back.
Will you pass legislation to give me my money back?
I can send you a video clip of me trying to do that this year. We passed it through the House, and like everything else good, it dies in the Senate. We were trying to repeal the unnecessary tax increases. When you pass a $400 million a year tax increase and you have a $500 million surplus, it is proof that I was right when I stood up there in 2018 and said we do not need to raise taxes. We are going to have a surplus. The only question is how big is the surplus? We don't need to raise taxes. The fact that the surplus now is bigger than the tax increase is proof that I was right all along.
When the governor touts, and you see on the ads all the time, I turned a deficit into, and now it's $500 million.
He did so good, Alan.
And the point that Aaron always makes is, wait a second, if you've got extra money, that means you took too much.
That's absolutely correct.
But when the point the governor makes is, I inherited a deficit, my counterpoint, and I think yours is, well, wait a second. we are constitutionally mandated in Louisiana to have a balanced budget.
Bingo.
We can't have a deficit.
We've never had a deficit. Anytime you hear the governor saying he did anything with a deficit, just understand his definition of deficit and everybody else's is different. In Washington, they have deficits because they can print their own money. They spend more than we bring in. So that's what they do in Washington. And it's unfortunate. But we don't do that in Louisiana. We do have a balanced budget. We had a balanced budget every year under Jindal. We've had a balanced budget every year since Edwards has been there. When he says deficit, what he means is a difference between how much we have, how much the state can afford, and what he wants, his dream, his wish list. And when he says I had a deficit, it means he wanted to spend more money than the state had. That's not a deficit. That's a wish list. That's wanting to grow government, grow and expand government. Look, the fact that his deficit to surplus, I think that's an indictment of his administration. It's not something that should be a compliment. What essentially he did is raise taxes on the people of Louisiana by $4 billion roughly, and increase spending by $7 to $10 billion, depending on which number you look at, and still has a surplus, which means he raised taxes so much, even he couldn't spend it all. Look, if you want to say I had a deficit because you streamlined, you cut fat, you reduced government, you rolled some things back and got rid of some things we didn't need to be paying for, that's great. That's the good reason to have a deficit. But raising taxes by $7 billion, increasing spending by $7 to $10 billion, and saying, oh yeah, we had a little left over, it means one thing. It means you taxed people too much. It means you took too much out of the pockets of the hardworking people of the state of Louisiana. I mean, one thing you can't get past, government cannot spend a single dollar unless it takes it out of the pocket of somebody who earned it. Somebody who went out, got a job, earned that dollar. And for government to come in and take it, and then at the end of the year say, whoops, we took too much, but you should reelect us because we took too much. That's an indictment of a governor.
Can you